Hi guys, today's video I'm going to show you how to implement role and permissions module with Laravel Vue JS because several users requested to me create video on role and permissions with Laravel Vue JS and use the starter kit. So we are going to do that. Before start to on it, I want to show you the demo at the end how it looks. So let's see the demo. So let me go here and I have already done this example. So let me go to the login and I am logged in as a super admin. Okay, so I have already created the account. So click on login and there is a two menu, users and roles over here. And if I click on users, there is a list of users over here and I can see create, show, edit and delete all the buttons because I am super admin and I have all the rights. So let me go to the roles. Okay, and you can see that I have admin, user and all the roles. I'm going to create new roles and that's called manager. Okay, and I will give the one permission, role create and users create. There is a two permission I'm going to give and just click on submit. You can see that we have created manager role. And now let me go and create new users. Click on the create and I will just use the fact filler to create new user, and I'm not going to choose the user but I will choose the manager. And here I'm going to just say test1 gmail.com and I will copy it and just set up the password and click on submit. So now you can see that we have a new user called Keiko and you can see that test1@gmail.com and we assign the manager role. Now let me go and open the new window and log in that user. Click on login and you can see that over here, and let me log in as a test user. Click on login and let me change the theme appearance. So let's see. Yeah, now you can see that two menu access over here, and if I click on users, you can see that we already assign only create permission. So that's the reason it's only shows the create. Let me go to the roles. You can see that I cannot access the other buttons over here. Okay, now let me go and let's see. So go to the roles and click, and I will give also roles view, but I'm not going to give the roles create permission, okay, to the manager. So submit it. And now let me go here into this window, okay, and just refresh it. You can see that create button is gone, just I can view it, okay, but let me go, and because I already know what is the URL for the create role, so hit enter. You can see that user does not have the right permission, so that means it is working perfectly fine. Okay, so this was the demo. Now we are going to start from the scratch. Before start, if you haven't subscribed my channel, then please subscribe my channel because we are releasing every week the videos, so we will keep you the update. Okay, so let's get started. So let me just close this and also close this as well. Okay, now let me go to terminal and just clear this and let me go back, and we are going to do from the scratch. So I will just say Laravel new. Okay, we are going to use Laravel command to create a new project. So I will just say Laravel new, and you can see that it is asking for the what is your project name. So I will just say Laravel Vue SEL. Okay, and hit enter. You can see that it is asking for which starter kit you want to install. So I am going to say just Vue, and I will keep default authentication system and keep the default testing framework. So let's install. Okay, so now it is taking some time to install all the dependencies and composers packages. Okay, yeah, now it is also asking me in npm install. Yes, I want to install it because there is a npm package we need to install for Vue.js. So let's wait a moment. Yes, now our project is ready, and now let me go to our project Laravel Vue SEL and let me clear this all. Okay, so now first of all I am going to open my project to VS Code editor. So code dot Okay, and now you can see that my project is open on VS Code editor. So first thing, let me go and show you. You can see that in JS. So here you can see that all the, if I go here, you can see that .vue, dashboard.vue, and so now it's properly installed our Vue JS project over here. And first thing I want to do is create the database configuration. So you can see that by default Laravel use SQLite. I want to use MySQL. So just say MySQL and let me uncomment it. Okay, and I'm going to say just Laravel Vue SEL that I already created database over here. You can see my table plus, you can see that Laravel underscore Vue SEL. Okay, now username is root and password is root. Save. Now let's run the migration. PHP artisan migrate, and you can see that migration runs successfully. Let me go here in table plus, hit refresh. You can see that now we have a default all the tables created over here. Okay, next thing I'm going to run the application. So let's see. So PHP artisan sir. Okay, and let me go to the browser and go here and just open. Yeah, you can see that now I have a two links, login and register. Click on register and I will register one user. Let me use the fact filler for it and just click on create account. You can see that I have created a new user and there is a beautiful design of dashboard because Laravel default provide in starter kit. So this is really great. Okay, so now next what I'm going to do, in sidebar I will add new menu called users and I will create update show page for the users. Okay, so let's create first the controller. Okay, so let me go here and open the new window. PHP artisan Mac controller, and I will say user controller, and I'm going to use resource controller so I don't have to define, create, edit, update all the methods. Okay, so hit the resource and you can see that it's created a new controller. So let me go to VS Code editor and show you. Okay, so go to the user controller. You can see that with index, create and store all the methods. So that's really great. Okay, now let me go and create resource route for it. So let me go here and just I will use route and resource. Okay, and I will use users and user controller colon class. Okay, save it. So that way I don't have to define each route. So let me show you that what is the route so they have defined with the resource route. So artisan route column list. Okay, and you can see that there is lots of routes and you can see this is for users route because we are following resource route. So that way they have created get route, post route, edit and update. So all the routes they have created over here. Okay, so now this is really great. Now what I need to do the next is I will add that users link over here. Okay, and yeah, let me go to VS Code editor and resources, JS components, and I have a add app sidebar. So here you can see that they have given the dashboard link. So I will just copy that and paste it over here and just say users and URL will be users as well. Save it. Okay, and now if I go and refresh, but it's nothing going happen because we need to run the development server for npm, so it will be reload and compress the files. Okay, so let me go here and just let me clear npm run dev. Okay, so that means it enables the wait. And now let me go here and hit refresh. Now you can see we have a users menu over here, but icon is the same what we have. But let me go here and by default Laravel Starter Kit use this Lucid icon. So let me go to that website and Lucid views and click on the icons and I will just search users, click on it, and you can see that there is a menu and copy for the view. So I'm going here and just I need to use user icon, save it, and I need to import it as well, save it. Okay, now let me go here and hit refresh. You can see that over here I have a user icon properly. So you can do like if you have a roles, products, any module, you can take the icon from here. It's a free. Okay, now if I click on it, that should be a list of users we need to display. Okay, so what I need to do next, go to controller, go to the users controller, and here return I'm going to use inertia.js because Laravel already default using the inertia.js and render. And I will create users folder. Inside the users folder, I will have an index blad file. Okay. And I will pass all the users. Okay. Users with user model colon all. Okay, that's great. Okay, now I need to create a new folder. So let me go pages. Inside the pages, I will create new folder called users. And inside the users, I need to create index.vue. So let me go create new file called index.vue. Okay, and first thing I will just copy the dashboard file. So copy that and just paste it. So theme integration and all the things will be over here. Okay, so we don't have to do too much changes. So just say users and URL will be users. Okay, and title will be users as well. Okay, and I don't want the rest of other things over here. Just remove that, and this one also I'm going to remove this. Okay, so this is looks great and simple. So let me go here, and if I click on views, you can see that we have a blank page for the users. Okay, so first thing what I'm going to do, I will just create the table. So I am going to use my custom snippet to draw the table with Tailwind CSS. So you can see that TW table and hit enter. You can see that I have a table with some dummy data and using the Tailwind CSS. So you can see my video about custom snippet and you can get the code as well. Okay, so save it and just go here. You can see that there is a beautiful simple table over here. Okay, so now what I need to do the next, first name and email. We have a 2 columns display we are going. Okay, so we already pass all the users. So how can we get this? So we need to just use the prompt. So here I will just define props. Okay, and props, sorry, not props. Okay, and then I can get the users like this way, users colon array. Okay, because we have passed in the array, so just copy that. Okay, and what I need to do here, I will use v4. Okay, and user in users, save it. Okay, and now let me go here, just we have a 1, so that's the reason it's not twice. So let me go here and just display the id from the user objects, user.id, and save it. And you can see that there is a 1, so that's like working. Okay, so now let me go here and display the name as well. So user dot name. Okay, same thing, I will go and just say user dot email, save it. Okay, now you can see that there is only one user we have created and listed properly. That's really great. Okay, so now we have a list of users. Now next what I'm going to do, I will add new button over here like create user, and where we can create a user. So let me go here and just copy this edit button and just call create. Okay, save it, and you can see that like it's touching the like table. So let me just add empty3, save it. Okay, now you can see that proper position, and there is a create button. It is button, but I want to add the link because we have a user slash create, that is the URL. So I'm going to use link of inertia. Okay, so elements, so just go here, and here we need to import it as well, save it. Okay, and then I will add colon href. Okay, and we already created route because we have created resource route. So I will just say users slash create and save it. Okay, and now if I go here, hover over it, you can see that users slash create, so that's perfectly fine. Now if I click on it, that should be rendered the form. Okay, so let me go to the user controller, it's coming over here, and same thing, return inertia render. And again, inside the users folder, I will create a new blad file called create, save it, and here I will just say new file called create.vue. Okay, same thing, I will copy the index file and just paste it over here, entire thing. And let me change something over here. Okay, just we don't have to define props, and here instead of users, user create href I will keep as it is, and title will be user create, save it. And here instead of create route, I will use index, and instead of create, I will use back, and remove this table as well. save it. Okay, and now let's see, if I click on create, you can see that there is a user create and there is a back button. Okay, now next I'm going to draw the form. Okay, so let me go here, and before the draw the form, I will define the form as well. So what I need to do the next, I will create over here use form. Okay, and next I will just create a new variable called form, const form equal to form, and just I need to define the name of the column. So I will just use for now name, and it will be empty. Save it. Okay, next I'm going to create the form over here. Okay, so I already created a form, T form. I have created a snippet for it for the simple form. Save it. And now let me go here. You can see that we have a simple form over here. That's perfectly designed fine. So you can see in my next video, like I have already captured for create the custom snippet, and you can find this code as well. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I just need to, we already defined the form. So next I'm going to just model it and form.name. Okay, and then I will also define the submit method. So this is really great, I love it. You don't have to define submit method. You can directly write like this way in Vue JS, submit dot prevent equal to, you can say just form object form post request, and then you can just call your route name. We have already created route for users store. Okay, and save it. Okay, now let me go here in controller and let's debug the input what we are getting. Okay, so in request just all, save it. Okay, and hit refresh, and if I click on submit, you can see that we are getting the name over here. So that's really great. You don't have to define the submit method or anything. You can directly define in single line like this way. Okay, next I'm going to implement the validation. So let me go here and I will just say request validate, and then I will just say name required, only required I'm going to add for the name. Okay, and next what I need to do over here, just if okay error, sorry, form dot errors dot name, then this message should be displayed, otherwise not. Okay, so let me go and just save it. Okay, and yeah, and now let me go here and hit submit. You can see that name field is required, so that means our validation is working perfectly fine over here. Now let me add for email and for the password as well. Okay, so let me add new column over here, that's called email, and keep empty. Same thing, I will also take password and keep empty. Save it. Okay, now let me go here and instead of name I will just say email, and model will be bind will with the email as well. Okay, and validation error message also say email, and here enter email. Okay, same thing, I will just say enter, yeah, that will be suitable. Okay, and also I will add type email. Save it. Okay, same thing, I need to define the input for the password. So just paste it over here, and password, copy, ID, name, type password as well, and model with the password, enter password, and with the error message we also need to define the password, and here label will be password as well. Save it. That's great. Now let me go. You can see over here name, email, and password. I'm not going to use the confirm password over here because we are just a straightforward example, so that's the reason. If you want, you can add it. Okay, now let me go to the controller and add validation for email. That should be required. Right now I'm just adding required for all. So password, that should be also required. Okay, and if validation is true, then I need to create a new user. So just I will use the model user colon create, and first I will take the name and email from the request object. So I will use only name, email, and then plus I will add new array over here for the password, because password we cannot store as a string over there. We need to hash mac the password. Okay, so hash mac $request password. Okay, that's great. So user is created over here, and then I just need to return to route, and we already created users.index. Save it. Okay, and now let me go and let me use the fact filler and just hit on submit. You can see that we have a created new user called Taylor Dean. So that means we have a successfully code fold create. Now same thing I need to do for edit. So here, let me go here. The next thing, go to the index, and here instead of button I will use link and colon href. Okay, and here I will define the route. So we already have a resource route, so I will just say users.edit, and then user.id we are going to pass. Save it. Now let me go here and just hover over it. You can see that on bottom left corner users2/edit. so that's great, that's edit is working. So now if I click on it, that should be open a new page over here with new form with the fillable information. Okay, so now let me go to the user controller again. Okay, and go to the edit, return, inertia, render, and again inside the users folder I will create the edit blade file, and I will also pass the user object over here, user find, and just I will pass with the id. Okay, save it. So that means we need to create new file called edit, and then I also pass the user object so we can access and make it fillable the form. Okay, so now let me go here, new file called edit.vue, hit enter, and I will just simply copy the create blade file. Okay, so just paste it over here. Okay, next I'm going to change user create to user edit. Okay, email password that as it is, and edit, save it. Okay, and now let me go here and click on edit. So you can see over here we have a just simple form, but it's not a fillable. So what I need to do, I just need to get user object using the prompt. So I will just define the const variable and props equal to define props. Okay, and then user column object, so I can get the user object. So how can I access? Just like this way, dot user dot name, and remove this. Same thing for the email, I will just say user dot email, save it. And now if I go here, you can see that name and email are fillable, so that's really great. Okay, now what I need to do, the next thing is that we have defined the post method. So beautiful thing is about Vue JS, you just need to do like put method over here, and instead of store route I will use update route, and here user.id, save it. Okay, so that's really great. And if I refresh, you can see that fine. And now next, inside the user controller I need to define the validation. So just copy the store method and paste for the update as well. Okay, but it's not work, like it's not a create code. We have to just find the user first from the id. So I will just say user find from the id, then user name equal to request name. Okay, save it. Same thing for the email, and just paste it. And password is not required in this case for the edit. So what I'm going to do, just if condition, and I will use request password. If there is a request password, then user password will be changed using hash mac. Okay, so request password, and at the end just save it. Okay, and then I have returned to the user index page. Okay, save it. And if I just type 3 dot and click on submit, you can see that now my name is like over here it's updated, so that means our edit is also working perfectly fine. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I will add another button over here that's called show, and we are going to display the name and email over there. Okay, so let me go here and go to the index again and just copy this, paste it over here, and instead of edit it should be say show method, and instead of blue color I am going to just define the different color of button. Okay, so gray, here let me back it blue. Okay, save it, and if I go you can see that another button, but there is a problem, so let me just mr1 save it. Yeah, you can see that there is a proper space over here. Okay, now if I go, that should be show route. Okay, save it, and you can see that in my bottom left corner there is user/1 user/2, so that's really great. Okay, now what I need to do, so when you click on it, it will call the show method. So same thing I will copy for the edit, paste it over here, and instead of edit I will create show.view file. Okay, and same thing I will define the like user object, I will send it. Okay, so just copy this, create a new file called show.view and hit enter. I will copy the edit file, just copy show and just paste it, and here what I need to change, I don't require the form, so I will remove it, and user edit I will say just user show, same thing user show for header, and then I will remove the entire form because I don't require that. So just here what I'm going to do, just create new div, new p tag, and strong tag name, and here will be user dot name. Okay, same thing email and user dot email. Okay, just display that, save it. Now let me go and click on show. You can see that name and email. Okay, right now I have just made as simple as it is, but you can make it proper show page like with the icon and whatever you want to do, but for now for this example I have keep simple. So now go back, and next thing, and I need to do for the delete. Okay, so when you click on the delete, that user should be delete as well. Okay, so now if I go and go to the index again, so when someone will click on the delete button, it will click, I will write the click event at the red click, and I will call delete user method, and I will also pass user.id as an argument, so delete user. So I need to create a new function over here, so let me create a new function called delete user, and I will get the id. Okay, so before delete I need to confirmation as well, so if confirm, and I will have a confirmation message, are you sure you want to delete this user? So before confirmation I cannot do anything, so if say yes, then I'm going to use inertia Vue JS router, so I will just import router, and there is a method called delete, and as an argument I need to pass the URL, so route and users dot destroy, and then I will pass the ID, save it. Okay, and let's go to user controller. At the end I will just debug the ID we are getting or not. Okay, save it, and now if I click on delete, are you sure you want to delete? Cancel, that's do nothing, but if I click OK, it's do nothing as well. So let me go here, and what happened, there is a problem, so delete route users dot destroy, maybe the spelling Troy. Okay, save it. Okay, and now let me go here, click on delete user. You can see that I am getting the ID, that's right. Okay, so now let me go here and just write the query, so user colon destroy the ID, then I need to return again to the user index, users dot index, save it. Okay, so that's really great. Okay, now let me go, and if I click on delete, yeah, you can see that user deleted successfully. So this is the very simple crude application for the user, so this is really great. Let me go and create another user, so that way we have a list. Yeah, so you can see that now it's perfectly fine over here. Okay, Next, we are going to install Laravel Spatie Composer package. They provide the method to create the roles, permissions, and all the things. So let me go and Google it. So I will just say Laravel Spatie roles and permission. If I click on it, there is an official website you can see over here, and click on installation. Okay, so we can install using the composer require command. So just copy this command. Okay, and go over here and open the new terminal and just hit enter over here, and it will install the all the dependencies over here. Okay, so let's wait a moment. Okay, they have installed, and now let me go again to the documentation, and you can see that they have again given the new command for publish the configuration file and the migrations. So let me just copy that and let me clear this and just hit enter over here. You can see over here they have just created new configurations file and they have created a migration. So let me go to my VS Code editor, and you can go to the config and go to the permissions.php. So here there is a configuration options like where is the model they have, and you can customization as well. Like by default they have a roles permissions, that is the table name, so you can modify as well. But for this example we will keep going default one and we can go with that. Okay, so let me go to the database migration. They have created a new migration. You can see over here they are creating a permissions table, they are creating roles table, and like model has a permission, all the tables that required for this roles and permissions management they have created. So we just need to run the migration, and by default they are going to create, and we are going to use the as it is default configuration. So now let me go here and run the migration. php artisan migrate. Yeah, you can see that migration run. Now let me go to the table plus again, hit refresh. You can see that they have added more tables like roles and like permissions, roles, and role has a permissions, and like model has a permission. So that's all the tables that default they have created. So that's really great. Okay, so next thing what we need to do, I will define the permissions, because right we will going to create two modules, users and roles. So I'm going to define the permissions for that. So let me create seeder for it. So go here and I will create php artisan mac seeder permission seeder. Okay, and now let me go to again VS Code editor, database and seeder, and here I will be define the permissions for users view, and then users create, and then users edit, and then users delete. Okay, this is for user module. Same thing, we are going to create new roles module as well. So I will just call roles.view, roles.create, roles.edit, and roles.delete. So there is a spelling mistake, delete, save it. Okay, and then I'm going to use for each loop, permissions. Okay, and then I'm going to use permission model. So Spatie already defined the permissions model on vendors. So you can see that I have used that permission default model, because if I go here inside the models, they don't have a permission module over here. Okay, model over here. Okay, so we are going to use the default one, column create, and just create the permissions. Okay, so just say name, value, and save it. Okay, now let me run this seeder, php artisan tb seed permission seeder, hit enter, and now let me go to the table plus, go to the permission, and you can see over here we have created successfully default all the permissions, and in the future we are going to use these permissions. Okay, so this is really great. Okay, so the next thing is that I'm going to create a new module over here, and I will add over here roles. So I'm going to create new controller for it. So let me go php artisan mac controller column role controller, and same thing I'm going to use resource, because we are going to create insert update delete for it as well. Hit enter, and now let me go to the route web, and same thing I'm going to do for roles. resource route, roles, role controller, colon class. Okay, so that means they have created, like, for the create, store, edit, all the routes by default for the roles as well. So copy that. Okay, and now let me go to the sidebar and add the menu as well. So just copy that, paste it, and instead of users I will say just roles. URL will be roles, and icon also, let me go and find it for it. So just say roles. Yeah, there is a over here, and just copy that. You can use anyone, but I'm going to use for the notebook, and just import it as well. Okay, so paste it, and now let me go here, and you can see that there is a roles. Now if I click on it, that should be list of all the roles over there. Okay, so now let me go here and go to the controller, roles, and here I'm going to just say return inertia colon render, and I will create roles folder. Inside that I'm going to create index method, and same thing here also I'm going to pass all the roles. Okay, so I will use role Spatie model. So same thing what we use for permission, same thing here we are going to use role model from Spatie. Okay, and get the all role over here. Okay, save it. Now let me create a new folder. So go to the pages and create new folder, call roles, and create new method called index.view. Hit enter, and I'm going to copy entire index file of user. So just paste it over here, because almost same the code, so that's the reason. And instead of users I will just say roles. Okay, and we already pass. So let me remove this unused file for now. Okay, add it, create, so it's not going to disturb us. So you can see that we have already passed roles over here, and let me go, and you can see over here instead of users I will just say roles. Okay, and then at the down users I will say just roles. Okay, and instead of users.create I will just say roles.create. Okay, and instead of users I will just say roles role over here, and we have a just name over here for now. Just remove that, and instead of user I will just say role. I'm going to change everywhere instead of routes as well. So role, and this is role as well. Save it, and now let me go here and click on roles. Right now we don't have any roles, so that's the reason it's empty, but yeah, this is really great. Okay, next we are going to work for create. So when I click on create, it should be open the form where I can add the role name and choose the list of permissions. Okay, so let me go here and work for it. So let me go here, and we already given the path. Now let me go to the controller, and same thing here I will just return inertia colon render, and inside the roles I will create new create dot view blade view file. So just copy this. Okay, let me go here and create a new file, so call create.view. Okay, and I will copy the entire users create file. So because we have a same thing form and all the things, so I'm not going to do the twice. So just paste it over here. Okay, and here I'm going to change, instead of user create I will just say role create and roles, and we just have a name for now. Okay, for the form, and now you can see that create user. So I'll just say role create and roles dot index. Okay, and then rest of all I'm going to remove for now. Just remove the password. Okay, save it, and also let me change the routes, roles dot store. Save it, and if I go here, and now if I click on, you can see that we have a create, like role create page, and there is a name and email. Instead of email we have a list of permissions. So let me go here and change it. So permissions. Okay, and I'm going to remove this input, and I will add checkbox over here, and I already created a custom snippet for it. So T checkbox, and save it, and if I go here you can see that there is a perfect checkbox over here. Now first thing, I will get list of permissions from the database that we have created using Cedar. So let me go here, go to the controller, and here I'm going to pass permissions, and I will use permission model get plug, and I will just get the name because we are going to use that, and all. Save it. Okay, now let me go here, and here let me define the prop. Okay, define props. Okay, and inside the props we are getting permissions as a array. Okay, save it. Okay, now I can use this variable, so let me go here and just loop that. So v4, okay, and just permission in permissions. Okay, and let's see over here, you can see that admin over here. Okay, now what I will do the next, I will just, instead of admin, I will take the name from the permission. Okay, so just say permission, save it. You can see over here, so that's working perfectly fine. Okay, and I can choose multiple, so I need to define one element in the form that's called permissions as an array. Okay, so let me go here and first of all define permissions as the array. Okay, and now let me go here, and here also bind it v model form dot permissions. Okay, and let me set the value as well. Okay, permission. Okay, save it, and here also we are going to validation, not email, just for the permissions. Okay, save it. So that means we have a list of permissions, I can choose it, and let's see we are getting on the store method or not. So let me go here and just debug it. Okay, request all, save it. Okay, now just I'm adding random name and just select two permissions over here, click on it. You can see that we are getting the array. You can see that roles.create and roles.delete that we have selected. So that means that's working perfectly fine. Okay, now what I need to do the next, I will add the validation rules over here. So request validate, name will be required, and permissions will be required as well. Okay, and after that what we are going to do, just create a new role. So I will just say colon create name, and I will get name from the request object. Okay, so something like this way you can create the role. After create the role, I need to assign permissions to that role. So let me go to the documentation and Spatie documentation. If I go to the basic uses, and here you can see over here, like give this if I go synchronize permission, so that means we can assign permission like this way. So just copy that and paste it, and instead of directly permissions, we can get from the request object. Okay, so now it's work. At the end, return to route and roles dot index, save it. Okay, and now let me go here, and you can see that I will just create first role, and I will choose two permissions for now and click on submit. You can see that we have created first role over here. Okay, now you can see we just display the name. I will add another column that's called permissions, and I will list of that permissions as well. So let me go here, and we just get the roles, but I will use with permissions and get. Okay, so that means we are getting role with permissions. Okay, because Spatie already added the relationships, so you can directly use that one. So copy that. Okay, now go to again index, and here I will be adding new column over here that's called permissions. Okay, and remove this, and here again I'm going to use my custom snippet for the design, so I don't have to remember the Tailwind CSS class. So just say t badge. Okay, and save it, and you can see over here there is a 1. So what I'm going to do the next, I will just loop this using v4, and I will just call permission in user dot permissions. Okay, and just user. Okay, save it, and here instead of just 1, I will call permission.name, save it. Okay, and if I go here and refresh it, yeah, there is a problem maybe for the permission and user. Okay, not user, sorry, role.permission. Okay, I forgot. So you can see that now we have a display properly the all the permissions like user.create and roles.create, that what we have selected. Okay, next what I'm going to do, if I click on edit, it should be open a form, and same thing what we need to do by default, selected that permission, and you can change it as well. Okay, so let me go and work for that. So let me go here and let me remove this create, okay, from here. And now I will again copy this because we need to pass also the permissions array. So let me go and edit, and also I'm going to pass role. So I will just find the role, find from the ID. Instead of create, we will have a edit view file, and here just say role $role and save it. Okay, so that means we have passed role and list of permissions. Okay, so just edit and go here and create a new file called edit.view, and same thing I will copy entire create file. So because we are using the same way, so copy this and just paste it for the edit and change it to what we required. So instead of create, I will use role edit. Okay, and we are also getting the role as an object. Okay, save it. Okay, and then name permissions are fine, and then create role, I will just say edit, save it, and then the rest of are fine. Instead of post method, we are going to use put method, and then I will just say roles update. And here if I go, I just need to add variable const, and then I will just say props equal to, so that way I can access the name and all the things, role name. So here also I can add like this way, role dot name. Okay, that's fine, and I can access the name as well. So let me go here, role.id, like this way. Okay, save it. So that means we have a defined properly over here. And now let me go, and if I click on edit, you can see that first name is fillable over here, but there is a permissions are not fillable over here. So what we can do for it, so let me go again for the controller, and I need to pass role permissions, and then I can get all the permissions from the relationship. So permissions. Okay, and again I just need a name, so I will just use block method name and all, save it. So that means we have passed the selected permissions for that role. So save it. Okay, and now for the edit, I just getting another array. So here I just need to save it. Okay, now what I need to do, just you need to props dot permission. Okay, and just save it. And now if I go here, it's magic, right? It selected all the roles because we have given the just name, and based on the value they have selected. So that means it's working perfectly fine. Okay, now what I need to do the next, if I go to the controller, same thing what I will do, just copy for the create store method, because we need to add validation, redirect, and synchronize all. And after that I will find the role. Okay, so just remove this create line, role colon find from the ID, then I will update the name, from the request object I will get the name, and then role, save. Okay, after that we are going to synchronize the permissions again if you change, save it. Okay, and now let me go and just update. I'm adding delete role as well, and click on submit. You can see that there is a name also updated, and also we have updated the permission, so that's working. Okay, so the next edit is working. Next we are going to work for the show. So when you click on it, it should be to display the role name and the list of permissions. So let me go and do it. So go here, and again I will copy the create inertia create method code. Okay, so just copy that, and here I'm going to say just paste it, and here just say role, and I will find the role from the ID, so just say ID. Okay, and same thing, this line I'm going to copy from the edit. I don't want all the permissions over here. Okay, and instead of create, I will just say show file. Okay, so now let me go here and create a new file called show.vue. Okay, that's fine, and go to the edit. Again, I will copy the entire file, go to the show, paste it, and instead of role edit, I will just say role show. And I don't require all the permissions, I don't require for the form. Okay, and role show, and I don't require this anymore as well. Okay, so just remove this. I will add new div over here, add the p class. Inside the strong tag, I will just add the name, role dot name. Okay, and then I will have a permissions. I will just remove this entire thing. Okay, and here what I'm going to do, just go to index again, and I have already used the badge design, so just copy and paste over here. Instead of roles permissions, I can roles permission because we have passed these separately, so just use like this way, save it. Okay, and instead of name, we are getting just because we use the plug, so that's why save it. Okay, and now let me go and click on show. You can see that name, and there is a list of permissions that what they have. Okay, so this is working. So now you can see that you can make it proper design if you want, but for now I'm just making the simple. So now let me go back, and at the end I need to do for the delete as well. So let me go here. I think we already copy from the user index, so they already does for user destroy. Instead of that, I will say just roles dot destroy, and this role, save it. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, great. Now let me go to the controller, and here again I will say role colon destroy, and I will just pass the ID, so that means it will be remove the role and return to route roles dot index, save it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let me go and just if hit on click, are you sure you want to delete this role? Yes, and you can see that it's deleted. So that means our insert update delete is working fine for the role. Next I will create some roles, so later we can use it. So let me go and create role like admin, and I will select all the permissions, so I can give all the permissions. Great, and let me create another that's called manager. Okay, and I will give some permissions for that, and I will create another role called user, and they have just role and user, just user view, and just submit it. So that means we have created admin, manager, and user role over here. Next, let me go to the user module, and yeah, when I click on create, here also should be list of all the roles that I have created, and I can assign that role to the user. Okay, so what I need to do, so the next, let me go here and let me just close this. Okay, and over here when you create, I can pass all the roles that what we have does for the role create page. Okay, so just pass all the roles, and I will use the spatial model and plug, and I will get only name, and then I will just say all, save it. So that means we have passed all the list of roles that we have created, save it. Okay, and now let me go here in create page. So I will go to the role create page, and same code we need to do. So just I will copy this props. Okay, and go to the create in user create, and just paste it, and instead of permissions I will say roles. Okay, and here also I will add another column that's called roles with list of array, because we can choose multiple. Okay, and now let me go here and just copy the permissions code from the role. So copy this, go to the user list, and after the password I'm going to paste it. Instead of permissions I will just say roles. Okay, and just say roles role, and let me change it quickly. So roles, save it, and here also role. Okay, save it. Now, yeah, here it should be say roles, okay, not role. Save it, and now let me go here. You can see over here we have a list of roles like admin, manager, and user. So that means I can get the list of uh, roles. So let me go here and debug it. How can we get? Okay, so go to the user controller and store method. Here debug the request all. Save it, and I will just use the fact filler. It selected one, but I'm going to select another and just click on submit. You can see that I have again array with the name of role, so that's working perfectly fine. Okay, now what I need to do, again go to the documentation, and you can see that if you want to assign the role to the user, you need to use this trait. Okay, so just copy that and go to the model, and let me use that over here, has roles and comma separate roles. Save it, so that means it is fine. Now let me go, and how can we synchronize as well? So let me go here, and they have already given the example over here, like how can you do that, synchronize roles. Copy that and go to the again store method, user controller, and store method. You can see that after create I need to synchronize the roles. So what I will do, just call user, and then here you can see that we can get the list of array from the request. So we'll just say request roles. Save it, so this is working fine. Okay, now let me go and remove this as well. Save it. Okay, go here and just use the fact filler, and I will assign two role, manager and user, and click on submit. You can see that user created successfully, but here we haven't display the roles. So let me display the roles as well. So let me go, and first I can also pass roles with the roles and get same thing what we did for roles module. So copy that and go to again over here and just copy this, go to again index for user, and after email I'm going to add new column called roles. Okay, and then paste it. Okay, now you can see that roles dot permission instead of that user dot roles role, and here also I'm say role dot name. Save it, and now let me go here, and you can see over here last user we created with the manager and user. So that means it is working like when we create a new user we can assign the role. Same thing I need to do for the edit as well. When I click on edit, it should be list of the roles, and I can change it as well. So let me go and do it that one as well. Okay, so go to the user controller, and again I need to pass the list of all the roles. Go to the edit, and you can see that I have just passed the all the roles. Okay, and same thing what we does for I'll show you over here the code. We already passed the where is the edit? Yeah, we also pass role permission. Same thing we need to pass for roles. So let me go here, and I will do like this way, like user roles, you can see, and here I will just say user find, and from the ID $user. Okay, and then here just say user roles name. Okay, so that means selected roles also we are going to pass, so that way we can use it. So let me go here in our edit file, go to the edit, we are getting roles over here as an array, and then we are also getting user selected role as an array as well. Okay, I also need to add another column that's called roles, and then I can get that roles over here like this way, props dot user role. If there is nothing, then we are going to assign as a array. Okay, so that means it's working. Okay, so save it, roles. Yeah. Okay, so next what we need to do, just go to create, and I will copy this code as well. Just copy that, go to the edit, and after the password I'm going to paste that code as well. So save it, and you can see that now we have a name, email, and roles as well, and that selected what we have I am going to remove this all and just adding the admin. Okay, so let me go and go to the again user controller, and here what I need to do, the one change, synchronize the roles. So just copy that, and after user save you just need to write this line. Okay, save it. Okay, and I will just add admin. I can remove the rest of all and just save it. You can see that the manager and user, that roles removed, and it's added only the admin. Okay, same thing if I click on edit and add manager and admin, click on submit, you can see that now that user have a two roles. So that means we have attached the roles with the user, so we can easily get the permissions, and based on that we are going to add the conditions. Next, I will create a test user and I will assign the one role. So let me go, and that is the user role. So if I click on edit, we just give two permission, create role and just user view page. Okay, so now let me go to the users and create a new user like test user. Okay, and just say test. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 the password, and assign the user role. Click on submit. You can see that we have created test user. So now let me go and open the new window and log in with that credential that we created. Okay, and now if I click on users, you can see that I have a list of users, and if I click on roles, I have a list of roles. Now if I go, and you can see that I can see everything over here. Even I have just given the permissions like for just view user and create roles. So that's not right? So let me do for it. So let me go to the documentation again and go to the blade directives, and here you can see that we can use @can, but we cannot directly use in Vue JS. If you are using the simple blade templating, then you can use it. So how can we do these things to check condition, do like user have a permission or not? So we need to create our own libraries on Vue JS, and then you can do that. So what I'm going to do, so let me go here into the VS Code editor and click on middleware. There is a handle inertia request.php. First thing we need to do, we need to pass all the permissions with the auth as well. So here I will add permissions, and I will use the function over here, and same thing, I will get all the permissions from the user object like this way, get all permissions. Okay, and then I will just get the name. Okay, plug name, and if there is no permission, then we have an empty array. Save it. So that means we have, because by default inertia passed the user object for, and now we are going to pass permission, so we can access these variables in every page. So how can we do? So let me go to the lib, and here I'm going to create a new file can.ts. okay, here I'm going to get the page variable and check the permission. Okay, so let me go, and first thing is that I'm going to copy this, and I will use page element. Okay, and now I will create new class over here. Okay, new function over here, export function can, because we have give the same name can function. Okay, and then permission. Okay, as a string we are getting, and then as a boolean we are going to return. Okay, true and false. And let me make the space over here. First I will define new variable, const page variable, and I can get all the page access over here. So use page, then I will define another variable and getting all the permissions equal to colon string inside the array. So that means we have defined the permissions variable as a string array. Okay, and how can we get this? Just we define the page dot props dot auth and dot permissions over here. Okay, if there is nothing, then we are returning the array. Okay, so something like this way you can do. Save it, and then I will just return permissions dot includes. Okay, and permission. Okay, so that means we are getting all the permissions over here, and then we are checking given the argument like that permission is existing on that array or not. Just save it now. So that means we have created successfully the functions over here, and this helper function I am going to use in our index file. So let me go to the for create, and here just I need to import it. So how can we import? Just import can from @ okay, and leave can, save it. Okay, now I can use the can function over here. So just I will add over here like this way, if can, if you have a permission for users dot create, then and then you can see the create page. Save it, and now let me go here and go to that window. You can see that now create is disappear from here. So that means you cannot view as well that page, that button. Okay, same thing for the edit and delete I need to do. So let me go, and same condition I need to implement for edit. So if you have a users.edit permission, then you can access the edit. If you have a users.delete permission, then you can view the delete button. Now if I go here again, then you can see that I have just one view, like show page, show button only. Okay, same thing if I go to the roles, I can see the create, edit and delete. I have given the permission for create, so that should be enabled, but edit and delete should be not visible. Okay, so now let me go here and copy this and go to the again over here, and if I go and save it, I can use same way like this way, if can roles dot create. Okay, and if I go here, I can still see because I have already permission for that. Okay, now let me go, and I don't have a permission for edit and delete. So roles dot edit, roles dot delete. Okay, save it, and now let me go here. You can see that I can see only show button, and I can see the create. I can click on it and I can access the role create page. So that means our can element is working fine. So that means it's only enabled for if you have a permission. But what if, for example, I know the URL of that? So let me go and just say users/create and hit enter. You can see that even I cannot see the button, but if I know the URL, then I can access that page. So that means that's not right the way, right? So what I'm going to do the next for that, so let me go here into the documentation and go to the middleware. I need to define the middleware. So let me go here, and you can see this is the middleware. Just copy that middleware and now go to the VS Code editor again and put app.php, and here I just need to define that middleware. Okay, and just paste it that line. Okay, that means we have a role permission that we have added over here. Okay, now next what I need to do, just go to the web. If you are using the resource route, you need to add the middleware like this way. Okay, so let me go and define for user. So just I will say only. You can create the separate route as well. You can also define from the controller or constructor method, but for this example I am going to do with resource as well. Okay, so just I will say create and store method. You can only access if you have a middleware permission colon users dot create home. Save it. Okay, and now if I refresh it, yeah, you can still access because let me define for all, so that way we don't have a confuse. Just I will say edit for user and update if you have a edit permission. Okay, home. Same thing here, I will just say destroy. You can only access this method if you have a delete permission. Copy that. You can access the index and view show method if you have a permission for create users dot edit users dot delete and users dot view. Save it. Okay, and now let me go here and you can see that user does not have a right permission. But let me go here and if I hit enter users, I can see that I can still access the index page, but I cannot access the create. You can see over here. So that means even if you know about the URL, you cannot access that page. So that working perfectly fine. Now let me go and do it same for the role. Okay, so let me go and here same thing, just copy this. For role as well, roles create. Okay, and copy this. And if you can access edit and update method, if you have a roles dot edit permission, copy that. And here if you have a destroy method, then you should have delete permission. So same thing, delete, save it, and copy this, paste it, just see roles. You can access index show if you have a roles dot this permission. Okay, roles dot view, roles dot create, roles dot edit, and all the permissions. Save it. And now let me go here. If I click on create, I can access this. But if I go here as admin and go to the edit, and I can just say roles dot view permission you don't have other, and just submit it. And now if I go and just refresh it, you can see that user does not have the right permission. So that means this permission is working. So let me go here and you can access only roles as what we have a users. So that means this is the simple roles and permissions module. You can add some more modules like products, categories, and you can add that permission to your seeders as according to you. This is very simple and basic example for the startup. And if you like this video, then please share with your friends, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video, guys.